You know, folks, in 1982, a character appeared on the scene, an actor, a performer, the likes of which had never been seen before. I mean, this guy was almost surreal. You know, he had such a unique look. It was so different. Of course, I'm talking about Mr. T, right? And I pity the fool that just don't believe what I'm saying. Mr. T, when he first came on the scene, was Rocky III in 1982, and you know, I really thought this guy was from another world. He was so cool looking, you know, the mohawk. I had never, you know, I didn't even know at the young age that I was in 82, I didn't even know a human being was even capable of looking like that. It was such a unique, cool look. And that transcends into marketability, of course. And Mr. T, who has become one of the great iconic figures in entertainment history, even now, 2010, there's still stuff being made. What stuff are we talking about? Well, collectibles. Mr. T, when you have such a marketable character with such a great, unique look, you're going to have a lot of collectibles on your said person, you know, existing. So, here we go. This is Collector's World. I'm Dr. J. Today's topic is Mr. T, and here are some of my favorite collectibles. I'm going to talk about the books, first of all, because I'm always a fan of books. And Mr. T, what better book to start with than his autobiography, right? And a heck of a read. It's neat to see pictures of him, you know, back in the pre-Mohawk days. So, I mean, he looks the exact same, but a shaved head, no Mohawk. Very, very weird. Of course, Rocky III is what he first came on the scene, first burst on the scene. This is the Rocky III press kit. I'm a huge fan of press kits. They're rare, they're hard to get, and they have such great production information and fantastic 8x10 photos. And there's some great photos of Mr. T. Literally, there was everything on Mr. T. This vlog could be, you know, 3 hours long. These are just some of my favorite items. And, of course, Mr. T, there was the action figure. Now, back in the early 80s, to be honest with you, I don't know if we call them action figures, and I've mentioned this before, we called them dolls. And the Mr. T doll, a very rare collectible. And, of course, there was lots of... there was some good photos, too, on the side. There was lots of different action figures of Mr. T. A lot of different action figures. I don't know if you'd count a bobblehead as an action figure, but nonetheless, Mr. T, of course, was a bobblehead. Going back to the books, the novels, Mr. T, of course, a year later would be the star of a very popular TV show called, say it with me, The A-Team. And the A-Team, a lot of books. A lot of stuff, actually, period, on the A-Team. And this is the Pocket Novel series. There was 6 volumes that were released here in North America. There was, I believe, 4 extra volumes that were released overseas. That happens sometimes with TV shows, and you gotta, you know, you can't get it here in North America. You gotta hunt a bit for these shows, for these collectibles. And the great thing, of course, about auction sites like eBay and all that is it's very easy to get these items, thank goodness nowadays. But these again are the pocket novels, and there was 6 in North America, 10 in total. Great photos, and they're for the most part they're adaptations of scripts, you know, so it's always great to read more about your favorite episodes. Mr. T existed in puzzle form, and different kinds of puzzles as well. And I mean, it's such a you know, unique look, and of course he had such the BA attitude, right? The bad attitude, Mr. T, that when you see him smiling like in that puzzle, you know, it's quite the rare sight. But this is Mr. T not smiling. This is the image that, of course, we have of Mr. T. This is another puzzle, a 300-piece set, and you know, again, very, very cool items on a very cool guy. Of course, Mr. T made the rounds of the magazines as well. He was on the covers of almost everything. And this is actually a recent cover. And again, Mr. T, you know, it transcends the generations. This is the famous People magazine, of course, Mr. T on the cover of that. There were comic books on Mr. T, or specifically the A-Team as well. And my favorite thing, and I've discussed this on on many different vlogs, is, of course, the hardback annuals. The hardback collectible annuals. That, again, you can only get them overseas. You can't get them here in North America. So you do have to hunt a bit for them, but they are fantastic. And I don't usually flip through these things too much, but there is great photographs from whatever the subject matter might be, Mr. T and the A-Team in this case. Great stories, and of course, comic book art as well, but it's the pictures, it's the photographs that appeal primarily to me. There's crossword puzzles, you know, literally everything you could think of. And there it is, Mr. T himself. So these hardback annuals, fantastic items, and of course there were many, you know, and annuals, obviously, once a year, 87, this is 88. Great, great stuff. DVDs, Mr. T was on basically everything. There was, of course, you know, there's other stuff that he did, other movies, TV series, and whatnot. DC Cab, you gotta have the A-Team. That's that's Mr. T at his finest. The A-Team was 5 seasons long, it lasted, and actually 4.5 technically, but you gotta get the DVDs, and they got great packages. They're a great collector's set. The A-Team. Now, he had a reality show, Mr. T. I Pity the Fool, it was called. I believe it lasted probably for about 15 minutes. But Mr. T did have his own reality show. Now, I usually save one of the coolest items for last, and this is no exception in the case of Mr. T. All right, here it comes.
I pity the fool. I pity the fool.
Right here, check it out. It's one of these keychain things. These are recent collectibles, and they have, you know, you can get them on everybody, basically. Elvis, you name it. And Mr. T, it has 6 of his...
Don't give me no back talk, sucker.
6 of his famous catchphrases.
Don't make me mad. Shut up, fool.
His name?
First name, Mr. Middle name, period. Last name, T. Quit your jibber jabber.
And, of course, the famous trademark that he did, in fact, have his trademark line.
I pity the fool. I pity the fool.
I can't get enough of it, and I mean, believe me, I have, when I'm on stage, I will put this in the microphone and do it till people are sick of it. I love it. Great collectibles on Mr. T, a huge iconic character, a huge iconic entertainment figure, a lot of stuff out there. Look around, do your shopping. Mr. T, I pity the fool that don't do the collecting on Mr. T.